So it appears that we have entered a new era in society, one that allows corporations to have jurisdiction over one's body. Right now, in the state of Ohio, tens of thousands of employees are faced with the choice to accept a flu shot or be fired, or to accept a flu shot or forfeit their annual salary increase. This is a decision that is not without risk. As we learned about the unfortunate cases of Michael Bailey Sr. and Lisa Smith, influenza vaccination remains one of the most injurious vaccines to date from the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, a program that was created from the 1986 Congressional Act, the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, that granted financial immunity over safety to vaccine manufacturing companies. A 75-cent excise tax of every vaccine sold is placed into a fund used to pay vaccine injuries. To date, over $3.7 billion has been paid. Guillain-Barré syndrome is one of the most common influenza vaccination injuries petitioned to this program. Corporate mandatory vaccination policies are overreaching and are in direct violation of informed consent and our civil liberties. What happens when we are no longer free to accept or decline medical interventions as a condition of employment, especially when the employer releases themselves of all liability through the act of signing a consent form, and the vaccine manufacturing companies are shielded from liability by the federal government? Ultimately, it's the employee who is left to carry the burden of all risk. From the wise words of Barbara Loe Fisher, words that should resonate with any liberty-minded individual, informed consent means you have the legal right to be fully and accurately informed about the benefits and risks of a medical intervention, including a pharmaceutical product, and be free to make a voluntary decision about whether to accept the risk without being coerced or punished for the decision you make. Ohio has an informed consent law. It is not clear if this law applies to vaccination or whether coercion or persuasion fit into the existing language. However, informed consent has been a pillar and a guiding principle of medical practice and ethics since the trials of Nuremberg after World War II. The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. The Nuremberg Code states, the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, should be so situated as to be able to exercise free power of choice without the intervention of any element of force, fraud, deceit, duress, overreaching, or other ulterior form of constraint or coercion, and should have sufficient knowledge and comprehension of the elements of the subject matter involved as to enable him to make an understanding and enlightened decision. Without the legal right to protect autonomy and bodily integrity, totalitarian corporate policies are given a green light to replace informed consent with coerced choice. One-size-fits-all policies that force you to risk your health, to violate your free informed consent, to punish you for your decision, are a violation of human rights. It has become clear that the time is now for our government to step up and provide Ohio workers with the legal rights to protect bodily autonomy and integrity. Corporations should never have the right to decide what is injected into your body. Ohio House Bill 193, or as we so affectionately call it, Big Mike's Bill, is designed to put a stop to these overreaching corporate policies and put medical decision-making back into the hands of the individual where it belongs. It will restore informed consent support doctor-patient relationships, and allow individuals the liberty to their own bodies once more. After passing through the Economic Development, Commerce and Labor Committee, Big Mike's bill has been sitting in the Health Committee since the summer of 2017 and has received no hearings. This is a bill by the people and for the people. We need your help moving this legislation. We have letters of support that have been prepared for people to sign today, but you can also visit our website at ohioamf.org to sign an online version of the letter. I thank you all for your time and attention to speak to you today on this very important matter and to give the proper respect to a family that is in mourning. Thank you so much.